Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back on the Uncle Shama channel. Inter 1, AC Milan 1. My prediction actually happened, and it feels like pretty much every single derby this season that we watched, it feels like copy and paste, Control C, Control V. But we'll take it because we were away today. Milan were the home team, so we go into the next leg. Stalemate, exactly as the title says, a stalemate. No team really gets much of an advantage. I guess you could say Inter have the slight advantage going into the home game, into the second leg. But, I expect the second leg to be the exact same thing. Today, as usual, we'll get into it, but Inter having most of the possession, controlling the play, but making mistakes, suffering against Milan's pace and dribbling, and creating more than Milan, not taking the chances, and in the end, luckily not punished too much, just the one punishment, but in the end, they don't take home the win. Just feels the same. And yeah, 100% Eduardo, thank you very much for your membership and support all the time. I'll take this tie with all the games that we have. You could see the players. I know we've just come back from international break, so you could think, yeah, there's no excuse. They should be, energetic, fresh, but we know that's not the case. This team is gonna struggle so many games coming up. Parma up next, then Bayern Munich, then another league game, then Bayern again, and then Milan at the end of the month. Like, it's just gonna be a crazy, crazy April. So most of the fan base, I think you guys are on board with me. Whether we win, we'll go through in this Coppa Italia or not, we're not going to lose too much sleep over it. If anything, we might think, finally some time to recover and more energy for these players to focus on Scudetto and Champions League if we can. But anyway, before we get into everything, guys, as Mattia has reminded you, look at him with that Ferrari, what a baller, Serbian baller. No, I wish we could all afford a Ferrari like this guy, but he tells you what you need to be doing before we get into everything today. So if you're new to the channel, leave a thumbs up, subscribe, or if you're not new to the channel, leave a thumbs up and also subscribe. We got a Hakan goal. I want to get this out of the way. Hakan finally open play goal, not a penalty, and a banger from outside of the box. We've been waiting for this one. It's been loading for a few derbies. Remember that one that he struck from like 35 yards, one derby, and it's like curled into the post. That was a crazy one. There was another crazy shot that Magnan made a world-class save on, I remember. But finally, Hakan from the edge, first time hit. Beautiful, beautiful. Unfortunate that it didn't land us to win. That would have been just that extra bit of sweetness on top of it. But Hakan in front of the Milanisti at home today celebrating, and then he went to celebrate with the Curva Nord, who of course sang the song that we always sing for Hakan. Ciala lo sai perché tu non segnavi mai, avevi intorno a te solo merda, lo sai, ora che sei con noi, la rete gonfierai, idolo nero blu, Hakan Çalhanoğlu. But we sang that, but it would have been nice if we sang that for a win. But going back to the game and your reactions, guys, as Mattia says, it is annoying that this team is 9th in the league and we still struggle to beat these guys. I disagree with you, Mattia. That's the worst team in the last 35 years because the team that they had in their real banter era. I mean, this is getting into their banter era now, but the real banter era team was definitely worse than this. But it's definitely up there as one of the worst Milan teams that we faced over the last, my generation, my lifetime. So it is so frustrating. Same with Juve, this Milan team. We can beat, other top teams, but we just can't seem to beat these guys. Really, really annoying. What's up, Mesto? What's up, Giro Zappelli? The Sassuolo spirit is still present in this Milan team. If you know what that means, it's the fact that Sassuolo, our bogey team, and Milan continue to be our bogey team. Matteo, not a bad thing considering the lineup. Yes, very, very heavily low rotated lineup. And yes, my God, we need to talk about Davide Frattesi's performance today. Absolutely blindfolds he had today. Frattesi blindfolds is like, when you watch those football challenge videos when they blindfold players, or you do that thing where you're just going around and you like blindfolded and you just like keep going around in a circle. And there's like, take a penalty now after going around 20 times, blindfolds on, shoot, or like try to run with the ball. That's what Davide Frattesi was today. It's just so frustrating to watch today. Definitely his worst game in the Inter shirt, 100%. 100%. And what an awful time to do it in, because we thought he's coming in from, a nice game that he had the last game. Not best game, but, he had the goal and he was decent. So at least some confidence coming into this game. But no, straight down the drain. And we played in 10 men because of Frattesi today. And yeah, as Christian says, very, very similar to the previous derbies. Timmy says biggest downside is Correa fouls one today. I mean, speaking of Frattesi having a stinker, this might be a Correa, like, obviously it's not his best performance because you can't match that Hellas Verona performance he had at the beginning or near the middle of the season. But this is definitely outside of that. This is his best performance since then. He actually was decent. And yeah, Bisek as well, definitely one of the negatives today. We'll talk about that when we look at the goal that we conceded. Good result in the end, Matteo says, 100% the bounce from man. Yeah, they did get lucky a little bit on the bounce. Yes, there he is, Hamdon, the song. Hakan lo sai perché, idolo nero blu, the song that we all love to sing. Good prediction. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty... if you watch the derbies this season and our lineup and Milan's lineup, it was pretty easy to kind of predict. Hakan, man of the match, I disagree, Freddie. We'll get into it. I did not like the midfield today. I did not like the midfield. Hakan himself, I know, amazing goal, everything, but I'm not really too happy with his performances. It looked like he was going to rise, but he looked like he was struggling today as well. I don't know if it's physical, but I mean, it shouldn't be. But he still looks nowhere near the Hakan of last season. Luckily, we didn't get punished for a couple of his mistakes as well. Zalewski was good when he came on, 100%. Always a bit chaotic. His touch is not always on point with his decision making, but he always causes trouble, especially for Milan in these derbies, doesn't he? Barella again, yeah, as I said, the whole midfield wasn't good. Barella was good in the first half, and then second half he just fell off a cliff. Stanislav, what's up, brother? 4 games, we can't beat this Milan. Call Diego Milito to teach them how to finish. Yeah, man. Like, I don't know what we need to show these guys how to finish, but it seems to be mainly in these derbies against either Milan or Juve where they just forget how to shoot, forget how to score. Really, really frustrating. Really, really frustrating. Frattesi looked like a child crying for his mommy. Barella, too many wrong passes, 100%. Not happy with any of the midfielders today. Darmian as well. I mean, now that we're mentioning all these players, it's like not really many positives, is there? So in the end, when we talk it out, and it happens to me a lot of the times when I talk it out with you guys, I was actually not too discontent with the performance, but actually a lot of individuals today I wasn't really happy with. So actually the 1-1, I'll take it. Yeah, we really need Dumfries back. But at least Theo didn't do anything. So it seems like, Theo only gets fired up when Denzel was there. So just to have him like switched off, you put Darmian on. Thuram is in very worrying form. Yes, he is. But I was surprised actually he played the full 90 today, because Inzaghi did say that he had a swollen right foot. So I'll give him this game off. But yeah, he has been 2025 in general. Thuram, disappointing. Yeah, 100%. Eduardo, all according to plan, 12 wins away from the triplete. Oh, this guy. Keep your positivity alive as long as you can. Fair play. I can't knock it. Josep, in terms of positives, I mean, let's start getting into it. He was one of the positives, I agree. Josep today, some nice couple of saves. I would say on in totality, I think Inter do sneak it in terms of better chances, but we have to say Martinez did have to come up big a few times today. 3 saves, XGOT, so expected goals on target, 0.69. Was very good with the ball. Look at that. Only 1 misplaced pass, only 1 misplaced long ball as well. So he was very, very solid with the ball at his feet finally, because that's one thing I've been disappointed in Martinez. Actually been very good shot stopping and everything, but on the ball, he was supposed to be better than Sommer, and he hasn't been. But today, he looked like the Martinez that I watched at Genoa. 8 throws, 4 high claims, 10 recoveries. Yeah, very, very good performance from Martinez today. And definitely, I would say he is definitely worth our entire transfer budget. Again, I still think that we could have found a, temporary fix for that position as a second goalkeeper and invest that money elsewhere, whether it was a striker or a wing back, whatever. But, again, I'll keep repeating, I will judge this Martinez signing not this season, probably next season, or maybe even the season after. Then we can really evaluate this, because it's clearly a long-term thinking signing. We can't go 5 games without a win against AC, can we? Oh, Mattia. Oh, we definitely can. The way that we're playing against these guys, I just don't see it. I just don't see us beating them this season. I can't believe I'm saying this, because we've been last 2 years, we've just bully these guys so badly, but I just can't see us beating this team. It just seems like something mental now, or just like a mental block now, similar to how Milan has seemed to have a mental block against us. It seems like we have it, and they also get this kind of luck, like the goal that they scored today, like a little rebound goes their way, and bloody Tammy Abraham, out of all players, I'm sick and tired of seeing this guy scoring against us. Sick and tired of seeing this guy scoring against us. I mean, it's only the second goal I think he scored against us, but still, that's 2 goals too many from Jamie Abraham. That was a jammy. I mean, the finish was good, but jammy, the way the ball got to him. And the fact that, we're giving the excuse to Lega Serie A official Twitter to tweet Tammy Abraham, him. That just sent me to Mars. That tweet sent me to Mars and said, delete the club Inter. If we lost to another Tammy goal, you might have not seen me today, guys. That's how bad I would have taken this goal, just because it's Jamie Abraham scoring. I think this Milan matches up again. Yeah, they do. They do match up. That's why it was always really surprising how much we really owned Pioli's Milan. It was more, I mean, I guess Pioli just didn't play it tactically well against us, but they always really, in theory, teams like Milan. That's why I'm fearing Bayern, teams that play 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1 with fast wingers on the transition, on the counter-attack, in theory, are the bane and the pain of Inter. So it was always quite surprising how much we owned Milan under Pioli. But now it seems like they've finally sorted it out. Let me see any more comments. What's up, Onikiena? Hope you are doing well. Even some Milan fans in the house. Yeah, Forza Milan. I mean, I don't know if you're too happy about that game. You were decent, but I guess by Milan standards this year, you'll take that. You'll take that. Why didn't Mr. throw in Arna Restaurant again? With we had some injury concerns with Arnautovic. He said that I was surprised about that as well, Hamdan, but I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt on this one, because apparently he had a little he also had a bit of a knock in the last game. But I would have liked to, I was pushing, especially with Correa. Seemed like, Correa's not had 90 minutes in his leg for a long time. I was hoping to see Arnautovic, especially with his form. So yeah, I agree. Maybe we could have seen Arnautovic. What shall we do first? Let's get into some more, just quickly recap some of the game, some of the big moments of the game. We started off not too bad of a start to the game. This was Correa actually first, was it 10-15 minutes from a corner, gets a rebound, hits it first time, but too central. Magnan keeps it in. We also had Berenbrook, Primavera boys, rejoicing for another appearance for Berenbrook, which says a lot. This is the most I think a youth player has been played by Inzaghi, so it says a lot. Then Milan had a decent, well, not really much of a decent chance, but that was the first half chance of the game. But we looked panicky, like even though this one didn't really come to much, we always look really panicky in these derbies when we're defending against Milan, like whether they get these little rebounds when we're defending, but it's just we're very nervous when we defend against them, and they seem to end up taking advantage of it. But here, Theo just hits it over. Nothing to talk about too much there. And then we had the first big chance of the game. Corner in, Bisek on the far post, heads it back. De Vrij, he was the one to score last time, wasn't he? Yeah, when Zalewski assisted him last time. So it could have been back-to-back Milan derby goals for Stefan De Vrij on this one, on his return from injury. Hits it down onto the ground. But bloody Jamie Abraham off the line, well, kind of off the line. It looks like Magnan probably would have had it covered, although it is Magnan's near post, so you never know. But that was the first big opportunity of the game. And then Milan have a big opportunity. Darmian really struggled today, guys. He looked really off the pace. I don't want to say, because we start saying things like, oh, he looks finished, he looks dusted. We've said that about Mkhitaryan a few times, but it's just an off game for sure today from Darmian. Usually he is the man to go to for these types of games where you want to maybe keep a Kvara type player quiet or a Leao type of player quiet. Obviously, he's playing by force right now because of Dumfries, but I reckon Inzaghi probably might have started him in this game anyway to help against Leao, but Leao really had him cooked in the first half specifically. Second half, he didn't really do too much, Leao, let's be real. But that first half was very worrying. Whoever was facing up against Leao, Bisek was doing a little bit better against him, but he had a good first half, Leao. He looks very threatening. This one, he does like a fake shot onto his left foot. Good save by Martinez. Very good save. As you see that sneaking under keepers, in between their legs or goes to the far post because it was hit really hard. But Martinez did a very good save there. Hakan, surprisingly, didn't hit the wall or it didn't fly off into space. Very decent free kick. Tried to give it that little, effect, that knockable effect on it. But easy save for Magnan into a corner. And here, Frattesi, again, talking about, into having the big chances, really bigger chances than Milan. When you reflect, definitely should have maybe won this game. Frattesi, who had, as we discussed, had a stinker of a game. Girospelli providing us the timely Frattesi frat boy stats today. He should bury this on his head. Yes, the ball didn't have too much pace, so it was hard for him to kind of get some power on it. But he should have directed it better at least. That ends up being kind of central for Magnan. Maybe he could have redirected it near post to go against the way the ball was coming to surprise Magnan, or could have directed it definitely a lot more into the corner. But if he scored that before halftime, I think this could have been a different game, and could have been a different game for Frattesi, because apart from that, there was nothing really positive that he provided. As you can see, the stats there provided by Girospelli. 20 touches. How many minutes did he play? 59 minutes, guys. 20 touches, 6 out of 8 passes. 0 successful duels from 5, 1 failed dribble. Lost possession 7 times. Just an atrocious game from Frattesi. His worst of the season, and maybe at Inter. Just awful all around. Really bad. And this is what, out of all the things with Frattesi, what I expect from him is, these types of runs and opportunities. Fair enough, he didn't score. He's not a striker, so I don't expect him to score every single time he shoots. But what I expect from Davide Frattesi is this, at least: winning duels, being a grinta merchant in the midfield, muscling players, outrunning players, dribbling past players. And he didn't do that. If you don't do that, then you're just not useful, Davide Frattesi. You're just not going to be... You're already not a starting material for Inter, but even if you're not even providing a good option when Mkhitaryan, Barella, or Zielinski are not starting, then what are you doing at Inter? 25 years of age. I'm just really disappointed because I gave him last year off because he had such good stats off the bench. I always thought he was overpriced. You guys know my thoughts on Frattesi. I would like a Frattesi in our team for sure, but if he costs 20 million, not if he costs 35 million. And then year 2, I expected improvements from him, and he just doesn't show it. And today, I don't know if Gabri is in the house. You know, Gabri, if you guys see him, our Aussie boy who comes in, big Frattesi fan. He's wanted to see this midfield for a long time of Frattesi. Actually, this is lying. Frattesi did play on the right, but not on the left. But he wanted to see Barella, Hakan, Frattesi midfield. And in the first half, he was the weak link. In the second half, and 100%, I'm not going to shy away from criticizing Barella as well. But this guy is just like playing with one man down when he plays like this. And he plays like this a lot of times. And sometimes the goals and assists save him. But today, diabolically bad. And I would have preferred to see Berenbrook, the youth player, come play rather than him. If he plays like this, I would really, really rather see Berenbrook given the opportunity. But at the same time, we need to maintain Frattesi's value. And if we get 30 plus million for him in the summer, very good deal, because he provided us big goals, big assists last season and this season. But if we can make our money back from him, that overall is a good period, 2-year period. Everyone's happy, all parties are happy, and we move on and try to get someone who fits Inzaghi's style of play much better. And we hope Sucic can provide something more all-rounded, and I think he can. I don't think he'll provide the Frattesi's goal threat, which is ridiculous, because Frattesi's goal threat is ridiculous. I don't think you can find many midfielders out there that can provide that threat, but we need someone that at least provides a little bit more on the ball, because this guy is fighting his own demons every time he's playing with the ball, and it's crazy that a 25-year-old starting midfielder for Italy a lot of the time is technically such a negative factor. But I don't want to focus too much on Frattesi now. I think that's enough to talk about Frattesi. And yes, Mattia, thank you for reminding the people about leaving a thumbs up. You must be happy with the Correa performance, if you know what I mean. Wow, Eduardo is bringing back the Correa sexual insinuations. If you're new to the channel, people used to call me a Correa sexual, or the leader of the Correa sexual army. Very, very awful accusation started by Nima Taremi Rutsari. Still a stain on my name, but you know, yeah, it was good to see Correa performing, but just in general, I have no horse in this. I have no money in this train, in the Correa train, left anymore. Yeah, Zalewski definitely a good impact. 100%, I agree. Too many games for Darmian. I mean, he only played one game, Eduardo. Only played one game. He's back since the international break. Next season, we need 7 midfielders in the team. Yeah, but I've always said I think the 7 midfielder should be a Primavera. Like, that's one thing I hold on to Inzaghi, even the season before, where he preferred to have bloody Klaassen as the 7th midfielder. I think the 7th midfielder should be a Primavera player who gets 300, 400, 500 minutes. I'm not saying like the Primavera player should get 1,000 minutes, but it should be a Berenbrook. Or I thought last season, I already thought Akin Sanmiro, the Nigerian boy that's on loan to Sampdoria, I thought he could have been already the midfielder last season to be that 7th midfielder. It doesn't have to be someone with experience. Like, every role doesn't need to have experience. So yeah, I think it definitely needs 6 strong midfielders, like we do have, and then the 7th. Such a bad performance. Football Focus says if either of our old guys did this, we would have wanted him to retire. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. When Mkhitaryan does this, I feel like the reaction is very, very extreme. That he just like, get rid of this guy. I would explore Correa in midfield instead of Frattesi. But I mean, Eduardo, like, when you see Correa, the amount, like, in the end, of course, Correa is playing up front. But how many of Correa's touches were really up front today, Eduardo? Because of also Frattesi's complete impotence, or like lack of awareness and positioning when he receiving the ball, because he only had 6 passes completed. Correa, I bet you, I'm not looked at his stats. I bet you Correa had at least triple the amount of involvement compared to Frattesi. Let me load it up. My laptop, by the way, is kind of lagging. It's not my internet, my laptop. So let me know if it's lagging. My laptop seems to be struggling a little bit today. So I'm gonna try to reduce the bandwidth on like what I'm using to close a few windows. It was telling me that I need to restart my laptop for some updates. Yeah, Correa, a shout for man of the match. I saw someone saying that. I mean, yeah, look at that. Not even triple, quadruple the involvement. 31 passes. He was our midfielders today. He was our third midfielder. I think SofaScore should be able to show us this if we see, because they will show us the. Oh, thank you, Mattia, for letting me know. Seems like it's fine on your side. It's just on my side. It seems to be struggling. Let's find. Oh, come on, SofaScore. The Derby di Milano should be like right at the top of your bloody feed. What is this? You got all this South American stuff going on. Well, yeah, look how far I have to scroll down to find it. That is not good. Sorry, guys. I should have loaded this off before. Let me see some of your comments in here. Oh, it is a bit laggy. Okay. Sorry, guys. I probably might have to cut this stream short in a few minutes if it is causing issues. Oh, come on. What is this? Yeah, my laptop is struggling. But yeah, no, I'm pretty certain, even without the SofaScore, I know that Correa spent a lot of his time kind of roaming in between the lines a lot today, which we kind of needed with Frattesi playing there. It was more like a 3-5-1-1, more like a 3-6-1 at times. Correa was very happy to. I even saw Correa picking up the ball in like areas like around here a couple of times to complete his passes and help out play. He was very good. He was very, very good. But yeah, if you missed the game, nothing. It was okay. King Peanut as usual. Created more than Milan. Suffered against them on counterattacks. We got punished, and then we couldn't take our chances. Come on, Charles. Our youngsters are world class because Inzaghi will never play them. Yeah, I know, Mohammed. What I'm saying is that's what I think should be happening, but because of Inzaghi, that isn't happening. That isn't happening. The laptop I'm using a Dell XPS, which is very good. You know, it's got very good capacity. It's kind of older one now. It's I've had it for 6-7 years, so it's starting to struggle a little bit. But it is a very good laptop in terms of editing and doing streaming and stuff. I'm not saying it's top of the range, top of the line, but it's very good. It's just a bit old now. We already have seen Correa in that role. Yeah. But again, it's just he was doing that today. If you take away the fact that he started as a striker, he is quite frustrating to watch. Like he's a ball to feet player. Like when I play with players like Correa, I kind of get annoyed with them because he never runs off the ball or makes a run in behind. He always wants the ball right at his feet. You know, the pass has to be right, you know, within 1 millimeter of accuracy to his feet, because otherwise he's not going to get it. Your laptop witnessed too much Frattesi. Yeah, that's it, Hamdan. That's it. My laptop was like, bro, I am fried after watching that Frattesi performance. Bro, yeah, as I said, I probably might have to cut this stream short now because of my laptop's performance. The Frattesi performance of my laptop. So who was the man of the match, guys? I mean, FOTMob here has given it to Hakan. But as I said to Freddie, I wasn't actually too happy with Hakan's performance. But upon reflection, Barella had a really good first half, but in the second half, he completely fell off the face of the earth. He was really, really bad second half. Because at one point, I felt like he was carrying the midfield. And in the second half, I actually thought he was even worse than Frattesi. But Hakan, on reflection, you know, very, very heavily involved, you know, created chances, decent set pieces, decent free kicks as well today. 6 out of 6 long balls. There was a couple of passes, as I said, where I wasn't happy with him. And defensively, a few times, there was one foul that he should have been given on him, as in not from him, on Santi Jimenez on the counter, but he got lucky. The referee thought he got the ball, but he didn't, because that should have been a straight, easy yellow on the counter attack. But apart from that, I mean, stats-wise, yeah, it's not showing much negative for Hakan, but I wasn't too impressed with him. So, yeah, I guess that goal deserves it. I mean, we've been waiting for that Hakan banger in the derby, and he delivered it. So I'll give it to Hakan, really. But definitely, yeah, a lot of players actually today slipped, not just Barella. So Correa slipping a few times. I saw obviously Frattesi slipping on his own feet. Thuram I saw slip. Some of the defenders. So yeah, I don't know if they're the wrong studs or the pitch was too wet before the game. I don't know what it was. In that case, Napoli and Inter time points that they do a match between them to decide. Yeah, I'm guessing you're maybe answering. Oh, you're answering Mada's question. No, yeah. So they do a playoff game. They do a playoff game, which is a new rule they brought in last season. So yeah, it would be crazy if that happens. Will Lauti play against Parma? I think he might. I think he'll be back in the squad for sure. But whether he will start, I'm not sure. I don't think we should rush him back if he's not ready. Maybe bring him on as a sub and get him ready for the Bayern game. Here he is. We mentioned him. He was hiding today. Just as Gabri thought he was getting some juice to start defending Frattesi again, Frattesi delivers his worst performance in an Inter shirt. Yeah, I mean, in the Parma game, I wouldn't mind to see Thuram fully rested. I think he needs and deserves a full rest in that game. If the game allows, if the scoreline allows, of course. If we need him in the second half, bring him on. But I feel like we should be able to do the job with Arnautovic or Lautaro if he comes back. Not good. He's not looking good. He's definitely not running as well as he should be. Pasquale Guaro says that Denzel, oh my God, that injury is way worse than they initially said. That is not good. That means he might even miss the second Bayern game. That's not good. That is not good. Just as DiMarco comes back, we lose Denzel. We just can't have everyone right either on like the form at the same time or fit at the same time. All of our best players. Bro, don't watch it. Don't watch it. You're just gonna wanna pull your eyes out of your sockets. That's how bad it was. And let me go back to one of the comments from our channel member. As always, I always try to prioritize the channel member comments. Lucas, yeah, my expectation for the Bayern game, especially with all their injuries. I mean, we're getting injuries, but today I heard that Guerrero, we'll do a full preview for that one, but Guerrero, the Portuguese left back / midfielder for them, has also pulled up. Alphonso Davies is out. Upamecano is out. Neuer is out. They're having issues. The backup centre back Ito is also out. So those are all big, substantial injuries for Bayern. So before it was maybe like a 60-40 game towards Bayern for me, or 55-45 towards Bayern. Now it's becoming more of a 50-50. But Denzel is a big miss for me because Denzel is one of the few. He's made for Champions League nights. His athleticism and power really helps us in those games where we have seen him to play a bit more defensively. So I'm a little bit more positive now seeing Bayern's injuries, but then at the same time, if Thuram is injured and Denzel, our two most impactful players athletically are injured or not fully fit, it's not very good. But all the Bayern's injury are giving me a little bit of a hope that we can pull something off. Yeah, Denzel in that game wanted to tape his leg, continue playing. Yeah, at least Zalewski is showing. I mean, you can see why Inzaghi doesn't start him still. His first touch sometimes is a little bit erratic, or his passing is a little bit erratic. He's not very secure sometimes, in his decision making. Is a little bit chaotic. So he's very good as a substitute impact player at the moment. But if he can just like, sort himself out a little bit, he could be, a good replacement for Denzel in terms of providing a bit more space for us in behind in these Champions League or just in general, because Darmian is definitely not going to do much for us in these games. Obviously, now that I say that, he's probably going to score one of those famous Darmian goals at the back post and sneaking in, scoring a big goal. But you saw like Darmian provided basically nothing on that right side. You had to look at one of these shots that he had, ended up going for almost a throw in, and then this one was even worse because it went to Rosed, and his crossing wasn't particularly that good today. He was poor. So yeah, we definitely need Zalewski in these games without Denzel. Bisek, I mean, even today, to be honest, I thought Bisek as a right wing back should have made more sense. I thought I would have played Darmian as a right centre back, which, as you guys know, I've been saying for like 2 years now, it should be his permanent position for Darmian, right centre back, and then Bisek as a right wing back. Because I actually was doing pretty decent against Leao, obviously because of his size and his pace. Ended up getting a yellow, which I thought was kind of harsh. But I thought he dealt with but I wouldn't mind seeing that as a potential option, maybe wing back Bisek. Provides more going forward than Darmian in terms of on the ball. Darmian maybe can provide, that kind of wily fox in the box at times, a bit of positioning help. But I think Bisek could be a decent potential option as a right wing back. Who else shall we talk about? Augusto was okay. We definitely missed Di Marco on that left-hand side. Bastoni was good. De Vrij was decent, but Bisek on the goal. I mean, I've took out the I had the screenshot there for the goal that we conceded. But Bisek got burnt from Tammy on that goal. So actually, going back to Frattesi, I mean, more criticism on Frattesi. The goal actually happens from Frattesi trying to intercept the ball. The ball rebounds off him. I think it was Fofana, but rebounds off Frattesi into Fofana and then goes into Tammy Abraham. And then Tammy Abraham is basically a repeat of Giroud versus De Vrij, but actually even worse because Bisek doesn't even try to block the shot. Tammy gets not even half a yard. He gets a full yard on Bisek with like a little body feint, goes onto his right foot and shoots without Bisek not even being like, I watched the slow-mo replay. Bisek is just running towards the ball. He doesn't even try to, slide or block the shot. So he was so off the pace in that move, which is really disappointing from Bisek because I thought he had a decent game, but then these little moments is still showing that he's not getting to that level. No, but the deflection caught him off guard, but then Tammy took a touch. It wasn't Tammy took it first time into that space. Tammy took a touch, then moved into the space. And it's a stronger foot. So, it's not like, if you're expecting Tammy to go somewhere, it is on his stronger right foot. So it is quite disappointing from Bisek in that moment. So I do put quite a bit of blame on Bisek, a little bit on Frattesi for, he was unlucky to be fair. The rebound goes straight into Fofana and goes back. But in the midfield in general, not much filtering in this game at times. It was always, as I said, it always feels very nervous when we're defending against this Milan team. I don't know why they feel so afraid. It seems like they're very afraid of this Milan team. I never really bought into the centre back talk of Bisek. You guys know. It's a position that needs more experience, more reading of the game, more anticipation, whereas Bisek game is much more aggressive, moving forward, and he's good. So keep him left centre back, right centre back, where he's good at moving forward, moving into wide spaces, covering those spaces. But centre back is a different ball game. Elon Musk as a rival now, if not penalty, it's always a rocket from Hakan. Well, if he can keep doing that, in Milan derbies. I'll take it. Oh my God, yeah, Acerbi coming on. Last closing comment. Inzaghi breaking his own rule, or this is a new rule. Inzaghi bringing on Acerbi, who had a yellow card before he even came onto the pitch. So he had a yellow card as he was playing. So that was an interesting moment. But yeah, we take this. I like that. It didn't. I don't feel like we exerted too much energy today. We got the draw with kind of no Lautaro needing to play at all. Arnautovic didn't need to play. Hakan played the full game, but Aslani has, because Hakan probably won't play against Parma, so Aslani will need to step up. But I feel like we managed to do well with a rotated team today. Di Marco fully rested. Pavard only played for a little bit. No Acerbi, no Zoma, no Mickey. So I thought we did well overall. So I'll take that 1-1 draw. Hakan man of the match, but not super convincing, but more for the goal. So yeah, thank you everyone that tuned in. Appreciate you all coming through. 121 people. Please leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. See you for the Parma game, Parma preview and Parma reaction, which is, let's have a quick look. When is that game? I think it's Saturday, if I am correct, right? Yeah, Saturday at 5 p.m. UK time, then Tuesday by Munich, then Saturday again for Cagliari, then Wednesday again for Bayern, then Bologna, then Milan again, then Roma. Oh my goodness, I am going to be a busy man, so I will be keeping you guys up to date with everything. Thank you everyone that's coming through. Thank you, Tony G. Thank you, Bobby Marley, Bodzel, Mesto, Hamdan, everyone for your comments. Eduardo for the support, Lucas for the support, everyone, all channel members. Appreciate you. Ciao ragazzi, Forza Inter, Forza Hakan. Let's keep going and hopefully we can finally beat this Milan team. But anyway, eyes on the Scudetto now. Ciao.